horseshoe bending workout today. It's a beautiful day. It's a little sunny, but not too hot in my apartment in downtown Toronto. So I've been doing the daily strong fort workouts. I just had one today where I really got my shoulders going, and I've got an assortment of horseshoes that I'm going to try and bend here today. See if I've retained the strength that I had before I did this new diet plan. Really interested to see if the diet has affected my strength at all. So let's get right to it. St. Croix Forge Ultralight number 2. Now this is the first horseshoe I ever bent. I always keep them around so I can do a warm-up with them. It's nice to, with any exercise like this, especially when you're putting a lot of effort into it, to start off slow and ease into it. You don't want to be hitting yourself too hard with the first bend. So St. Croix Forge Ultralight 2 is a great beginner horseshoe. Wrapping it up in the suede wraps, hold it against your leg, and just lean down onto it like that. It's nice to get the first one out of the way. Okay, so that's not so bad. It's as expected. These are the horseshoes that I would do in my shows when I first started, and I was doing like 4 or 5 a day. Now moving on, I'm gonna start wearing my specially made little strongman skirt thing that I've got here. I put this on to protect my leg a little bit. It's got some suede there, even though in my shows I don't really wear this. I got it because I was going to wear it during the shows, but these days I don't. I think it's just nice to, when you're doing the big workout like this, to not totally kill your legs. I'm going to go to a St. Croix Forge Ultralight 1. Basically the only difference is that it's a little bit smaller. So that gives you a little less leverage, and yeah, makes it a little bit more challenging. So here we are, the St. Croix Forge Ultralight 1. Should be easy as well. And there we go, not so bad. I'm going to wrap up the St. Croix Forge Ultralight Aught, the 0. It hurts. Okay, so far so good. The Aught got taken down without any difficulty. And that, I would say, is kind of like the warm-up phase of the workout here. The first time I actually tried to bend the Ultralight number 2, the easiest horseshoe I've done today. The first time I tried to bend it, I was in Texas with Dennis Rogers. I held it up against my leg. It did not bend. My nose started bleeding because I put so much effort into it. And he was just like, "Oh, that happens. You know, come on, try it again. Try it again later," and just wiped up the blood, and we moved on. But that's that kind of effort that you need to put into these kind of things. That there's nothing like it. There's nothing like. Well, there's a lot like it, but there's nothing like that advantage in your life, to be able to know that you're actually putting your max effort into something. So if there's a project you want to get going at, I highly recommend. There's no time like the present. You know, memento mori, as the Stoics say. You might die tomorrow. Would you rather have tried a project, or would you rather keep thinking about it? Stop thinking about living and just start living. So for me, I'm going to stop thinking about this horseshoe, and I'm just going to try and bend it. Yeah. So now that's a bit more of a bend. Maybe I'll even take a bit of a break. I'll take a break right now before I put in another effort. So I kind of got it just a little past 90 degrees. And yeah, the lights are no joke. It's a shame they're called lights, because I feel a bit weird about doing it in the show. A light horseshoe, really? Meanwhile, it's like, folks, what horseshoe are you bending, you know? But anyway, I was talking about not thinking about things and just doing them. That's something I'm trying to do with this YouTube channel. There's no roadmap to how to do an old-time strongman YouTube channel, because I don't know if there are many others. But this is what it looks like, folks. Every day, you're out there, you're doing your calisthenics, you're swinging around Indian clubs, you're ripping cards, you're spending a bunch of money on horseshoes just so you can bend them, so that hopefully you can do a show for people at fairs and festivals again and give them away at the end of your shows. This is what the life is, so if you're interested in how it works, this is it. This is what the old-time strongman performers used to do. I am following their footsteps as much as I can. I gotta be honest, the pandemic's actually made it a lot better for me in terms of training and actually living the life. When you're on the road all the time, I think I'm probably on the road in a normal year 200 days at least of the year, 250 days of the year. Traveling around in hotels, eating hotel breakfast, and it seems nice, and it is nice, of course. I'm very grateful and I love doing it. But it is difficult to keep that consistency of eating the same kind of thing every day. Making sure you're not eating too much, but making sure you're eating the right stuff. It's tough. You know, you end up having fast food, you end up ordering something to the room. You're exhausted, you just done 5 shows, so you've burnt too much calories, but then you know you haven't eaten enough protein. It's a lot of sporadic kind of dieting, and I find I was losing strength and gaining strength and back and forth, whereas now I am just slowly dialing it in, which I really like. Okay, so now it switches here. I'm going to try and push down to open this thing up a little bit more. Now I'll do my switch technique. Just about got it. And that is fairly close. I mean, for these lights, that's pretty much what I'm looking to get. Just so it's flat, so it can kind of sit flat on the thing. I mean, maybe I could do it a little bit more, but I got some other ones to do after this. This is not a 5 horseshoe workout, folks. This is just the warm-up stack. So putting a lot of effort in like that, really, that's different than the ultralights for sure. That's like, I have to bring my back into it. I have to push as hard as I can. There's this sense with some of these feats of strength where you tighten everything in your body up, like from your toes, you squeeze everything and make your body just like a really wound up elastic, and then all at once. The core strength is so important, which is why I love the fact that there's so much in the Strong Fort workouts about moving the core around. I guarantee that it's not a coincidence. He knows what he was doing. He's trying to toughen up your core so that you can be ready to handle all of the stuff that the world has to offer. The kind of life in the 1920s wasn't easy, and you know, a lot of people that were taking it are working on farms and working in factories. He's trying to toughen up your core so you can handle all the work that is required. I mean, toughen up soldiers to go to war and stuff. So yeah, definitely that's an important part of the Strong Fort workout, and it's an important part of these kind of skills. So yeah, Anyway, as much as I was complaining about being on the road and how difficult it is, I certainly can't wait to get back on the road though, because it's a lot of fun. All of my friends are, or a lot of my friends are street performers, and they're all around the world. They're based in Europe or Australia or New Zealand or wherever, and Japan. One guy's stuck in Japan, Hiroshi Hiro-san. He's out in Japan just doing handstands and trying to go viral on TikTok. He's desperate to hang around with friends. And I visited him in Japan, and we had a great time. And I can't wait to go back to being able to travel around like that, because it's definitely something I got used to. Man, I never want to take it for granted, and I never will again. I don't feel like I was, but you really realize when something gets taken away how much you did miss it. And that's another one of those, reminds me of a Stoic thing. Negative visualization. Think of what you have and think of how sad and how upset you'd be if it got taken away. And that's a way of appreciating and being grateful for what you do have. All right, St. Croix Forge Light Rim 1. Let's get it open and let's flatten it out. So far, so good. Now this is weird. I'm almost wondering if maybe the 1 is a little easier than the 2 for me and my frame, because that seemed to open out a little bit quicker than the 2. I have a smaller frame than a lot of the strongman. I'm around 175 pounds right now, but I have some fat to lose. I think a lot of the strongmen have a bigger frame, so they're able to really just use the leverage their body offers. Whereas for me, I have to rely a lot more on the technique because I just don't have that kind of a frame. I'm gonna bring out the next set of horseshoes now. I have just a bunch of SX7s. I have 4 Kerckhaert SX7s, number 2. These are the horseshoes that I'm really trying to get. They're quite a bit thicker. They don't have a little ridge that goes all the way around. And yeah, for example, here's the ultralight and here's the SX7. They're a lot thicker. Here we go, the SX7. This could take me a couple goes, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just crank it right open with no effort at all. Now I will wait a little bit. I have some slightly tougher horseshoes inside I might give a shot at. We'll see. That is over 180 degrees. There we go. I always wipe off the little bits of metal on these things just because I try and I don't want them to be too dirty. I know a lot of people gonna look at this and say, like, why would you be putting all this effort into doing this? But especially now that the shows are not happening and who knows how long it's gonna be before they happen, but it is my job to be an old-time strongman. No matter whether there is a lot of shows going on or not. And I really believe in this idea, like whatever job you have, whatever position that the king, the universe has placed you in, you take that position and you don't mess around. You do it as hard as you possibly can. And that's how I really feel about anything. I'm in this job right now. I didn't feel it before. There was a moment I was working in an insurance company in 2014, for example. 2013, let's say. 14, I got my act together. But 2013, I was working at a job, and because I didn't like the job, I'm a cubicle, I don't like my life, well, I'll just half-ass it. And, you know, maybe you can get away with doing that too. You know, you can get away with half-assing it. The job didn't quite catch on, and, you know, they were like, well, he's doing it well enough. But the negative that does for you, the person doing it, is so much worse than the negative it does for the job. And that's kind of a lesson I had to learn the hard way, I think, by not valuing myself and putting the best I had into whatever it is that I'm doing, whatever I've chosen, wherever I've ended up, by kind of just phoning it in. I ended up phoning it in on a lot of other aspects of my life, and that wasn't a good time because of that. I was really kind of getting depressed and stuff. So that's my little spiel on that. If there's anything, sometimes you feel you're phoning it in, and you're not giving your all, the world is fine with you doing that, but you gotta be the one that looks at yourself in the mirror every day. I mean, I could probably get by with bending these in the show. Still bending the SX, bending the ultra lights, you know, but it'd be me who would have to look at the kid when I hand a kid the horseshoe and I say, you got to try impossible things, knowing that this doesn't seem impossible to me. But bending 4 SX7s in a day does seem impossible. So it makes it a little more, I've upped the stakes on myself, and I made that lesson a little more real. Let's try and open this one. Got a little mess up on the grip there. Yeah, that was a tougher one to open for sure. Oh, and to flatten that definitely took a little bit out of me. So I'm going to take a bit of a break. This, and there's something I found called Tough Foot. It is a spray that you get for puppies, hunting dogs, or horses to spray on their feet so that they can walk on the ground without injuring their feet, or, you know, when they're running through gravel and stuff. So for paws. And so I sprayed on my hands to try and make my hands as tough as dogs' paws. And folks, it works. They're like tough. They're not so much hands as they are just pads to crush things with, and it's great. It's such a stupid thing to do. I don't know how my fiance feels about it, having dog hands for hands, but we're not going to focus on that, folks. This is the life that chose me, so that's kind of part and parcel with the deal. I've trimmed down the mustache at least, you know, so it's trade-offs in our relationship. That's what we're doing. So, all right. So I'm gonna have to rest another little bit before I try and hit that again. That's how it goes. Sometimes you put all your effort in and you don't get the result you want. What can you do? Just rest 3 minutes, try and go back again. There's it's just the process of life. Sometimes you're gonna put your best in. As long as you know you put your best effort in, doesn't matter the result. And I really do believe that. So. It's going a slight bit at a time. Super, super slow. It's almost flat, but it's not there yet. I do need to hit it again one really, really strong time. It's pretty much at that level. Maybe one more hit, but I mean, it's definitely good enough for me to hand out in a show. Okay, and there we are. Another SX7 II, flattened, but see how much more of a fight that one was than the first one. Let's see if I can get this, the SX7 #1. This is the point where you really decide, is it going to be the metal that's going to beat me, or am I going to beat the metal? You're going to say, no, I'm going to beat the metal. You're trying to decide, you know. It doesn't want to be bent, but do I want to bend it more than it doesn't want to be bent? That's the question. Okay, so maybe my theory on the SX7 is right, because this was a SX7 I, and I bent that a lot quicker than I did the second two. So that's pretty interesting. And now, in just the same way, I might drop down to bend the aught. I think officially, in terms of how they're viewed, that SX7 was the toughest horseshoe that I've ever bent on record, and this ought to be the toughest one after that. Hand's starting to peel away here, but that tough paw is working. Oh, that's a grip. That is not getting out of my grip. Okay. The first dance. Okay. He held up. He held strong. I didn't have the angle just right. Once I get that angle just right, there's no chance. There's no chance for him. Go. Straighter when I picked it up. I'm bending and he's straightening himself back out. Oh, that's no joke. This is no joke. I've just jumped from the SX7 2 to the SX7 1 right to the aught. I bent one of the next level. This is like a max. If I can get it, it'll be great. Great end to this little workout here on video. For you, the fans, thank you for watching. Come on. Yeah. Oh, it's tough. It's, you know, it's a horseshoe, folks. What do you expect? This is how it goes sometimes. Don't think the SX7 aught is going to move. Unfortunately, even if it moved a little bit, that would probably keep me here doing... Oh man, it did. No. No. Basically didn't. It just feels like there's like such a slight bit of movement that yes, there is the slightest bit of... I make this as a joke in my show. I'm like, I got it, sir. If you close one eye, you can kind of see it. Because that's how you do it. You close one eye. Oh, that aught. Because it's slightly moved. This is where it becomes the addiction, folks. You know, you're like, I mean, I'm tired. It's been an hour of this, and but there's a piece of metal in my hands, laughing at me, saying like, "Oh, you thought you were a strong man? Go back to juggling. Why don't you go stand on a roll of bola, you sucker?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to be Mike Mixo-Tricks. I want to be Mighty Mike. I'm gonna bend you to show that I've done it, that I've earned my place." And he's like, "Not today, Sonny." Really is that though. It's just like, can you put your maximum effort in? Is it possible for you to go farther than you thought you could? Yes, it is. Oh, God. It's opened up. It's opened up. The SX7 aught has opened up. Yeah, it's moving a little bit more each time. Ugh. Yeah, it's moving. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah. Now I wait a little bit. I gotta relax a little bit. It's opened up, folks. Oh, what a satisfying moment that is. That is the toughest horseshoe I have ever bent. There's no way of describing how this feels. When you have something that you're like, oh, especially when you're at that point of just give up. It's like the saying, don't give up before the miracle happens, you know what I mean? If you don't believe in yourself enough. If I didn't believe in myself that little bit, this wouldn't have happened. Every time I bend this, every time I do these kind of workouts, it's like a challenge to how much you believe in yourself. It's like, are you serious? You think you can bend that? That's beyond you. There's always one that's beyond you. And if you're not finding the one that's beyond you, you're not working hard enough. You know? I could bend these all day. And it's not going to be the same. And it's not going to be this feeling that I have right now of achievement, of accomplishment. I gotta crank it open a bit more, and then I can drive down. My leg is just killing me. It's gonna look like The Walking Dead under here, folks. It's gonna just be bruised as hell. But this sucker is not. He's felt it. He's like, oh, he's trying to hold on. No, it's done. I opened it up. I moved it. Once it moves, it falls. It's tensing up though right now. This is the problem. The more you wait, it's like you either have to blast through it, or you got to build even more strength to hit it again, because it is like toughening back up when you wait, which is not a good thing. Yeah. I don't want to say that this could be it, because again, we're believing in ourselves, but woo! Yeah. What a day. What a victory. What a victory. Oh, it's just like holding on. Everything's seizing up. Now I'm getting the sweat. Everything's tensed up. Everything's seizing up. That leg is just... I don't want to talk about the leg. Oh, and now I've opened up a little bit of a callus on my hand here, which signifies the beginning of the end. Once something like that happens, it kind of stings, gets in your head, and not a good sign. I've like reached the max that my skin will even tolerate. It's like, hey dude, we're still just hands. Okay, yeah, you know what? I've got a little red thing here, another little thing here. I did it. I opened it up. Folks, my name is Mighty Mike. This was my horseshoe bending workout. This is the SX7, Kerckhaert SX7 Aught. I got it just over 90 degrees at the end of the workout, as well as 7 other horseshoes. That's good enough for me. I'm gonna do a little cool down exercises at the end. I hope this gave you a bit of an insight into what it takes to be a performing strongman. This is the kind of workouts that you got to do whenever you think you can manage it. Join me again for the strong fort workouts, which are a lot easier, a lot more fun. That's calisthenics, that's gets your cardio going. It's more about being healthy. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Remember to push yourself today.